why don't you create something which organises these various student organisations? It is a fiscally unsustainable approach to keep creating things. Which one of you is realistic and which one of you is going to actually make fiscally responsible
question to answer. We are running out of time. Yeah, just restart. Go.
So I'm actually going to Jay. I'm actually going to answer my question because, frankly, I'm sure if any of you following this lecture, you know exactly which party I'm a member of. I'm a member of the Conservative Party, which, for the reason being that I'm a Liberal. I'm actually more than that. I'm a district councillor. And in my role as district councillor, I've had the incredible privilege to be able to help people in, for instance, securing council houses that are better for them because they've got families that can't get up the stairs appropriately. I've also been incredibly privileged to be part of a committee, which I now chair, that gives out money to make sure that every voluntary space for volunteering activities in the area has the capacity for people who are disabled to access that space. I'm incredibly privileged as well to be in a position where I could defy the Conservative whip and vote in favour of the creation of friendships in my district, a thing which I was personally held to account for later. So I'm proud to be a Liberal, and I'm proud that in this election it doesn't matter what party I'm a member of, Michael, and I'm sure you know that because we have many conversations over pints, but it's quite clear that I'm far less harmful and awful as some people try to make out. In terms of the finances of ULU, so with the functions that I assign to it, I mean, it's difficult because Vice President is quite a specific role. I know Michael and Dan made almost identical speeches, but actually Vice President has its own functions. And what I want to see is a process where the ULU Vice President is undertaking a massive increase in the number of societies, a massive increase in the small specialist college element, and a massive increase in how we can get people to get the most out of their degrees. So, if you want to pin down exactly what I'm standing for, it's nothing to do with my party politics, Michael. It's nothing to do with accusations that have been levelled against me and accusations that have been incredibly bullying and intimidating to people who have been supporting me. What I stand for is students' experience at university should be as good as it possibly can be. It should be safe, and they should have a really good time whilst they're here. That's what I stand for in this campaign, and I hope you'll spoke to me.
Thank you for your answer to the last question and session. Can I have the final word to you, please? You can respond to any of the last two or three, just so we can finish soon.
I'll take that.
And then it's women of the star.
Very brief on labour. So, I'm a socialist. I'm a member of the Labour Party as well. How embarrassing.
More than that.
Yeah. I'm a member basically because I want to turn it leftwards.
No problem. Let him finish, please.
Go.
Don't be shy. Go.
What's going on? Calm yourself.
Calm down.
Calm down there.
You want to carry on?
So I want to turn it leftwards. 50% of the votes at Labour Party conference are made up of by trade unionists, and I think that's the force that should be leading the party, not right-wing bureaucrats like Ed Miliband. That's the reason why I'm a member. That's the reason why I'm a member of the Labour Party. We can write something about that as well. The funding. So I think it's a very good question. I'm pleased that it came up. Something that's preoccupied me this year. So just a kind of bit of context and a few points of what we've done this year. So firstly, ULU was being given a grant by the 19 constituent colleges of £1 million in 2007. That was cut by 300,000, and it's now being funded 700k. In fact, just less than that. It's funny because when I was at Sabbath Royal Holloway, we were getting probably the same amount that ULU gets. Yet we represented at Royal Holloway 8,000 students. Here we represent 140,000 students. So it's a body that's massively underfunded, and that's an issue. So that's the context. What have we done this year? Firstly, we've lobbied the college, the university, for funding to get this place fucking sorted out. The horrible flaws, everything like that. Sorry?
You get this sorted out?
The funding is coming through. We're getting the bar downstairs refurbished, and we're going to get all of this repainted So there's that. We lobby the college. Secondly, we set up our own initiatives. So the Sports and Society Shop, as well as giving like excellent equipment to sports teams, canoes, proper t-shirts for society. All of the profits are put into a pot, and students can apply to use that for their student projects.
All right, then I'm going to finish the question.
I think we also become more credible and respected by being active on campuses and winning campaigns, and that's about housing and that's about work, which are both my priorities.
Just quick, have you two considered taking a pay cut? I mean, you say you just
I have taken a pay cut, in fact. So the sabbaticals this year, Michael and I decided that because ULU's in such a derisory financial state, because we want to fund women's officers, because we want to introduce part-time roles, we've actually taken a pay cut of, I think, 3K, 2K now? 3K.
Would you be willing to say what sabbatical officers are paid?
It was 25, it's a take
Let me finish on this. I'll allow time to ask questions right at the end of the meeting. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to call it 6 minutes, and I mean 6 minutes toilet break for all of you. But I definitely do it. The next
Mr.